Good afternoon, LinkedIn, and good morning on the East Coast. Jeremy Blueball here, Chief Prospecting Officer with CoinFlip Marketing, where it is our goal to flip the odds in your favor when it comes to your client outreach. And I am honored today to have Jonathan Knockel from Identified on the call. He works for an unbelievable company. If you're having trouble to meet prospects, you're having trouble to look for prospects, he's your guy if you're a financial advisor. And if you're a wholesaler listening, this is a tool you should be introducing to your financial advisors. So before we get going here today, one quick interesting fact about John: he used to work for the Tiger Woods Foundation, and he's actually, I'm assuming, got to hang out with Tiger, right? No?
A couple of times I would have clients that would come out and meet Tiger, and it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Not a bad gig.
No, yeah. And
No.
now you're here doing a LinkedIn Live with me, how life changes, right?
It just goes uphill from here, man.
Yeah, there you go, right?
Exactly.
This is the pinnacle that takes you to the top. Well, yeah, so first, we'll get into it. One of the things I wanted to talk about today is, and what you guys have almost kind of tagged as relationship mapping. And obviously this can tie into kind of why the company exists and why you guys do what you do. But so for the people listening today, what is relationship mapping? What do you guys mean by that?
Yeah, so to kind of just put it simply, relationship mapping is taking networks and layering them on top of networks, and laying them on top of networks, and opening up paths that you previously didn't know existed to help you in your line of business. So if you take kind of a step back and you look at everybody's networks nowadays, everything seems to be so siloed. You have your LinkedIn contacts, you have your Outlook contacts, you have your phone contacts, and even to a certain extent, if you think about it, your brain is even a silo for contacts for you, right? And you've got all these silos housing relationships that you've built for years. And what we wanted to do at Identified through a relationship mapping was take those, along with relationship mapping, was take those silos, put them into one location, sprinkle some relationship mapping fairy dust on top of it, and give you a full view of your network as a whole and how it can potentially benefit you by mapping it out even further for you. So you can sit there, and what's really cool is when you start to add these layers of relationships and these layers of networks on top of each other, you start to really unlock what we call non-obvious relationships. And what these non-obvious relationships are, all of a sudden, through relationship mapping, you can start to see people in your network who sit on boards with other people. You can start to see people in your network who worked at previous companies with contacts or prospects that you're looking to get in front of. You can even see things like neighbors, on top, seeing who your contacts are neighbors with, and it's all done through relationship mapping in the power of AI. It's really cool, and what we try to do is help you harness the power of these relationships and open up, again, pathways to get in front of contacts and get in front of, help your line of business. And if you're thinking about it like from a wealth advisor standpoint, you can have this really amazing referral network of 100 people, right? But what relationship mapping helps you do is it helps you turn that network of 100 strong referral partners into a network of thousands of referral networks just by going in there and seeing who they're connected to. If you look at it again from if you're an enterprise sales, a SaaS enterprise salesperson, right, you could be prospecting this one particular company for months and months on end and not getting anywhere. But through relationship mapping, what we now allow those people to do is find pathways through their network into these prospects that they're looking to get in front of. So now all of a sudden, you've been prospecting this company for 6 months and you didn't have any contact points in there. You start to layer some relationship mapping on it through Identified. And now all of a sudden you're opening up doors and seeing about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, however many contacts you might have that have connections into that company that can make an introduction for you and potentially get you that meeting that you were looking to do.
Fantastic. So is it easy as just kind of linking your LinkedIn or loading a CSV and your company kind of does the rest of the work?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much that simple. Identified, like what we do, like I mentioned previously, is we allow our clients to upload their networks through, their Outlook networks, their LinkedIn networks, their CSV files, even things like Apple, like your phone contacts and your Google contacts. We allow you to upload all of those into the platform, and from there, the power of the platform works for you. We will map out the relationship paths to the 210 million profiles that we have inside of the system, and again, give you visual aid into, prospecting opportunities that lay out before you.
That's awesome. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll be candid with everybody listening. I use the tool. I educate people how to use the tool as well. It's probably the best tool that I've ever seen. It's the way I look at it is all this information's out there, right, John? It's how do you kind of put it together, then how do you obviously in one spot, right? And then how do you actually utilize that data? And the one thing I wanted to ask you about, which I think is phenomenal about this tool, is you have your opportunities tab when you first log in. But the one I love the most is what you guys call super connectors. So expand on that, because I think that, especially for wealth advisors listening in, and you can obviously talk about more than just the wealth advisors, because that's kind of who I deal with, like how you use that super connectors to really kind of build that referral network and build your relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're 100% right. And that super connector, if you're looking at it from a wealth advisor standpoint, it's kind of like that referral opportunity that I was just talking about, like how to expand your referral network, right? So super connectors. So inside of the platform, you can actually, again, the platform itself, again, kind of trying to take a quick step back. The platform itself houses 210 million profiles, consisting of both consumer information and professional information. And what you have the ability to do is to go into the platform and go into our prospecting finder and create what we, basically a perfect list of people you want to get in front of. So whether or not that's, young professionals based in Boston, earning $250,000 to $500,000 a year, they're married, they have a house, they like golf. You really get to create this prospecting list that strategically fits your line of business, right? And once you start to create those lists inside of the platform, it's almost like you're feeding, for lack of a better phrase, you're feeding the monster. And the monster is starting to learn who you want to get in touch with and who you're looking to reach out to. And inside of that super connectors tab, what that does is the more lists you create, the connectors tab will then let you know inside of your network who can introduce you to those people that you want to get in front of. So like a perfect example, or just an example, I'll use you, Jeremy. If I go into the platform and I say, all right, I want to create a list of wealth advisory firms based in the Southeast with employees from say 50 to 100 people, and I want to talk to the people in the C-suite. What will then happen, again, I'll feed that into the system. The system will start to learn, all right, these are the people that John wants to get in touch with. Who knows a lot of those people inside of his network? Jeremy Bluebaugh. And before you know it, you're popping up on the top of my list in my super connectors tab. And what we'll do too is we'll let you know who the 50 top people are that can be your quote unquote super connectors and get you the referrals that you're looking to do. It's almost like networking for networking for the Zoom age.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm the chosen one on your list.
Yeah.
Top of the list. All right.
Always top of the list, man.
Yeah. And so how I've showed financial advisors and wealth advisors how to use this is, and obviously I just show them based off of my list is, let's say I have John that's on top of my list, and John may not be my best client. John might be top 30, top 40, but when I log into the super connector tab, John's names is up there and it has 150 people that John's connected to that I've identified that have large stock positions or have money in motion or have some type of funding event within their business. And what this tells me, if I'm a wealth advisor, and you can add some more color to this, John, is I want to keep John happy. John can refer me a ton of business. Yeah, John's not the wealthiest guy in my community, but he's connected to all the wealthy people in my community or in my network. So I don't know if you can elaborate on what I believe. That's amazing.
Yeah,
to me.
It really is. And what's really cool is, again, through kind of the relationship mapping is it's exactly like you just said, Jeremy. Like all of a sudden you're learning who in your network has these amazing contacts that you didn't know otherwise existed. So like all of a sudden, for your perfect example, like you got this round of golf at, a really nice course, and you want to go in and you want to find some really great prospects to bring to that network. You can go into the super connectors tab and see, all right, look, Jeremy's got, I created this list of C-level executives that like golf, that, are making X amount of dollars that I really want to get in touch with. Jeremy's connected to 12 of these guys. I'm going to reach out to Jeremy, invite him out for the round and say, hey, if there's anybody on this list of 12 you can invite out for that round of golf, it would be great. Let's get them in. Let's have some fun, play a round of golf for 4 hours with them out on the course. And really, like, that's the benefit of having the Super Connectors tab, is you really start to enable these relationships and create relationships based off of networks and based off of, the mutual kind of, I guess, admiration that you both have for networking and creating business together. It's really cool. And I've used it to do a lot of my business in the past year. I've used it and been able to reconnect with people I haven't talked to in years and bounce business off of each other and really try to, bring them in and show them identified, which is really cool and what it's all about.
And what I love what you just talked about is it goes back to that kind of creepy way to ask for referrals. But hey, I have this golf event. Here's the 12 people. Because a lot of people, what I find when you ask for referrals, like, I don't know. And you're like, no, John, I want these 12 people. They're right here. Do you know them?
Yeah.
If not, no big deal. But like, these are the 12 people that my system says that, obviously you're not going to word it like that, but like you're being proactive with the process versus, hey, who do you know that can benefit from my services that I see on a lot of, bottom of emails, or I see on when you walk into an advisor's office. So
yeah, no, definitely. Like gone are the, like, especially with our platform, gone are those days of asking for the general referral, right? You don't have to do that anymore. You can actually go in and have again, not to be super creepy, you don't have to have specific names to ask for, but you could say, here's what I'm doing. Here's who I'm looking to get in touch with. I saw that you were connected, to these people. We love to talk to them. And do something casual, like we just talked about.
Yep.
Round of golf, grab a beer, go to a game, things of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you're not using it, it's time to jump on board. We'll get your contact information here in a little bit. But so now that's kind of when you first log in. Let's go now into that prospect finding tool that you guys have, and kind of elaborate, because this is probably one of the most robust search engines that I've seen to actually kind of really, really fine tune your ideal client profile. And you mentioned a few minutes ago, like you could be in Boston, you want this net worth, own a home, like you can get super detailed. And the way I always tell advisors, this is Sales Navigator through LinkedIn, like times 10. Because all Sales Navigator is really going to tell is this. So
yeah, like I jokingly refer to it as LinkedIn on steroids on a daily basis. The prospect finder is incredible. What I've found in talking to companies, both in the financial service industry as well as, enterprise level salespeople and enterprise level sales teams, is that when it comes to marketing, when it comes to really kind of prospecting, 90% of it is just kind of throwing out a giant net and hoping to reel in a few big fish, right? And it doesn't matter what the cost is, or or how you do it. That just seems to be the way people still do it. What the prospect finder allows you to do is exactly what you just said, Jeremy. It allows you to go in and maybe not cast out as wide of a net, but cast out a more strategic net and bring in more than just a few fish. It allows you to bring in the exact fish that you're looking to get in front of. So you can go in there and you can start to sort through the 210 million profiles based off of things like household interest. So if you, again, not to keep bringing up golf, but if you want to find golfers who are making X amount of dollars located in this state and are married, you can create a list of that nature. You can find exact home addresses, or exact zip codes. You can do radiuses based around cities. What's really beneficial and really cool, and we're seeing a lot of younger financial advisors kind of get into, is they want to tap into their alumni network, right? You can actually go into the prospect finder, and if you went to UMass, you can go in there, type in the University of Massachusetts, and it will pull up all of the alumni that we have in our database that went to the University of Massachusetts. And from there, you can start to get granular with it. So all of a sudden you have like this wide net of UMass alumni, but you want to talk to, executives at a startup company of 1 to 50 employees that just went through a Series A round of funding. Like, you can really start to get granular with inside of your searches, and really, again, can't stress it enough, make it beneficial to your line of business versus just hoping to reel in, or throwing stuff against the wall and hoping it sticks.
Yeah, I like that. I tell people it's the Navy SEAL way to prospect. Like,
Yeah,
I want to
that's a
meet with
great. I'm going to
John.
use that one.
People like John. And then take the
Mhm.
Navy SEAL approach. Like, here's the 15 people that we identify for the month of January that we want to go after. How do you go after them and get their
Yeah,
attention at meetings with them? So
yeah.
within that, oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, like, what I found is, especially with younger salespeople and younger, financial advisors, is that they're just trying to bring in a line of business, right? They're what the prospect finder allows you to do is really kind of create your niche and just absolutely crush that niche by going in there and just creating that perfect list of prospects that you're looking to get in front of.
Yeah, and then one of the few things for those listening in or listen to the replay, what I love within that prospecting tool is not only can you identify your ideal client profile, there's really two tabs that I think financial advisors can tune into is kind of that money in motion. So I'd like you to elaborate more
Hmm.
about that. And then you guys just added this recently, or at least I just got introduced to you from a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, was that remaining share balance
Yeah.
tab. So if you want to elaborate a little more about where that data is being pulled for and what it means to our listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. So our trigger events inside of Identified, inside of the platform is really another way that we kind of stick out from the normal competition. So we're on a daily basis tracking things like IPO filings, actual IPOs, insider stock sales, stock acquisitions or rewards, and then also whether or not a company's received a round of investments or they've been acquired, or even if they've gone knock on wood, gone unicorn status, which is what everybody wants. So we're tracking those on a daily basis and we're tying them back to the executives inside of those companies. So you can actually go into the platform and go into the prospect finder and strategically find, all right, you're a financial advisor, you loaded your network in, you want to be made aware of one people inside of your network have sold stock. You want to be made aware of one people in your network have had their company had a round of investment and if that benefits them. So on a daily basis, as we're getting this information in and we're tying it to those companies that are involved in it or tying it to those executives, you're actually getting alerts from Identified letting you know, hey, Joe Smith just sold $5 million of his stock. Could be a good time to reach out to him and start talking about how we can invest that $5 million.
And
And then,
I'll just and choose. Listen, I get
yeah,
it every day, and I think today was like 46 different opportunities with my network
yeah,
that I saw that I wanted to bring up. So you're getting emails daily. Obviously, if things are happening daily, don't happen daily. But if something's happening within your network, your tools identify me via an email. Here's what's going on.
yeah. What's really cool is we have a client up here in Boston who, they're a mid-size advisory firm and they wanted to be made aware of like small companies, not small companies, but like companies that are going through their Series A, Series B round of funding. They wanted to find that list of executives to go in and start to try to bring on board as clients. And what they've been able to do is they're again with those daily alerts is they've created this profile inside of the platform, and on a daily basis they're getting alerts. It's like, hey, look, XYZ Corporation and their executives just went through a Series B round of funding. Could be a good time to reach out to them before the big boys at JP and Goldman and all of them start to poach them off. Let's get them on board and then bring them in on as clients.
Yeah, or just what I tell people, humanize the process. Go, write a nice little handwritten note and maybe
Yeah,
depending on
just
the
a
people,
congratulations. Yeah,
drop a box of donuts off or whatever in the office and say, hey, no sales pitch. Just wanted to say congrats on getting your Series B funding.
yeah. You'd
Congrats.
be shocked at how far just a simple congratulations email, a congratulations note will go nowadays.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I teach here. And it's the impact that we have for our clients just by, I mean, we take it more than just that. Like it's powerful and yet a lot of people still don't do it. So
Yeah.
So elaborate a little more about the remaining share balance part too, because I think I don't know how long it's been around. Like I said, I just learned about it like maybe 6 weeks ago. So
Yeah, it's been around about that long.
okay,
I think you were one of the first people I told about it. So, so essentially, what we're able to do is, if you're an executive at a public company and you have a remaining share balance inside of that company from a stock reward, we are actually able to track that through SEC filings. So you can go in there and, like, if you're looking again to try and find new business, find executives or find people of a certain net worth, you can go in there and search like by remaining share balance. So if you want to find executives that have between $500,000 and like $2 million in remaining share balance, you can go in there and we would be able to pull that list up for you. And again, from there, you can get granular with it, cater it towards your state, cater it towards your marketing initiatives. But it's a really cool and new function that we've added over the past few weeks that I think, again, helps us stick out from anybody that we're competing with.
And then, so I'm just hearing this because I know some advisors will like scan 5500s.
Yes.
Is that kind of essentially what you guys are doing and just putting it all in one spot is in a
Yeah.
nutshell?
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, again, what I think kind of what we try to do is condense everything you're doing from a prospecting standpoint, like, going to several different locations to find information on people, putting it in one place and handing it to you on a silver platter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those listening, like you're interested or you listen to the replay, we'll get John's contact information in a second. He'll set up a demo with you and you will see the power of all the data that's in there. And you can elaborate more on this too. Like, so there's another tab within this prospect finder is not only do you may potentially want this set of income, this set of age range within this city, you can also say, I only want people I can get their personal email address or
Yes. Yeah.
have a LinkedIn profile. If I think maybe Facebook's on there, if I remember correctly. I don't use that one too much. Okay, Twitter
as well. Yeah, it's really cool. And you're, that tab, the attributes tab, is really powerful. Again, it helps you strategically plan your marketing initiative. So if you want to create an email campaign, you can go in there and request only, personal or work emails, whatever it might be, whatever you're looking to do from an outreach standpoint. Same thing with phone numbers. Same thing with even like home addresses. So when you go in there and you select one of those attributes, only those profiles in which we have those attributes will show up into your list. So it's a really cool and useful tool for you to use in your marketing planning.
And then too, anything specific that you want to potentially add in that prospecting tab and then we'll talk one more thing. I'll bring it up and we'll close it down. Like anything else that's any other potentially sectors that you work with that it might be helpful for to kind of elaborate on real quick?
Yeah, what's really cool too is you can segment everybody based off of their position. So if you're looking to get in front of C-suite executives, if you're looking to get in front of managing partners, directors, again, kind of whatever your niche might be of the people you're selling to, you can go in there and strategically go down. All right, I only want to talk to C-level executives and things of that nature. You can find the job titles of the people you want to get in front of. What's really cool too is industries. Like we can help you segment industries as well. So like a big thing, like I work with a couple of professional sports teams, and that's a big thing for them for their sponsorship teams. If they need a brand new official healthcare provider or auto dealer or whatever that might be, they can actually go into the platform, select the automotive industry, and find like the top executives in the automotive industry in that area that they can then start to call on. Same thing with healthcare, whatever the category might be. But I really truly love like that industry tab and then the executive level or the job title tab. It's really cool. It just gets you straight to the point. You don't have to deal with weaving your way in and out of various roadblocks. It's really cool.
Yeah, and if you're listening around, you haven't been sold, we're now going to put the icing on the cake, which I think is fantastic. Is not only does this tool give you all this information, you can actually link it to your CRM.
Yes.
So you can maybe elaborate that one more minute, and then we'll close it down here because we're coming up at around 12:30. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's super beneficial. Just for me being a kind of a sales guy who is, like any other sales guy, hates inputting stuff into a CRM. We connect directly with a lot of the major CRMs, HubSpot, Salesforce being the big ones. And you can download the information that we have inside of a prospect's profile directly to your CRM, which is super, super beneficial. And just from a time saving standpoint, it's gonna pay off in the long run. Like we have enterprise companies that we work with that with a click of the button, their sales team is saving hours and hours a week of just manual labor.
Oh, yeah, I mean, hours.
Yeah. It's super. God, I remember days, in previous gigs of having to pump stuff into Excel spreadsheets or, Salesforce or whatever it might be, and just being, 4 to 5:30 every day. Here's your hour and a half just to upload stuff into the CRM.
Yeah. Now you have an hour and a half more to go do whatever you want to do, right?
Exactly. Go hit some golf balls. I'm only joking.
Yeah. All right, so we'll close it down here. Any last comments or anything that you kind of want to provide? And obviously, feel free to kind of tell people where they can reach you at. And then obviously, we'll have your contact information and the LinkedIn follow up here as well. So
Yeah, absolutely. You know, again, if you're looking for the way I try to talk to people about Identified is if you're looking for the most streamlined way to do your prospecting, we're really the end all be all when it comes to that. I truly I was sold on the platform by getting a demo from our chief strategy officer, Ned Dane. When I saw the power of that platform, when I saw the power of that demo, I literally sat back in my chair and was like, "Oh my god! Every salesperson that I know would love to have this tool because again, it takes what you're doing on LinkedIn, it takes what you're doing in other platforms, it puts it all in one location and just gives you, that power times 10."
yep.
And it's really cool. And again, it'll give you insights into your prospects that you never would have seen before.
Yeah. And then where can people reach you at if you want to
Yeah,
provide your email or?
absolutely. They can reach me at jknochel. So that's JKNOCHEL at identified.com. Identified spelled AIDENTIFIED.com.
All righty. Well, John, thank you so much for your insights. Once again, I said that I use your tool. It's helped my business. So it helps me kind of just identify the people I want to go after. And it's, if you are an investment wholesaler listening, a wealth manager, anybody else outside the interest, and you really want to streamline your prospecting, get a hold of John. He'll take care of you and give you the streamlined service through Identified. So everyone have a great Thursday. John, thanks for coming on and
Thanks,
sharing your
Jeremy.
knowledge, and happy Thursday and enjoy the rest of your week.
Have a good one, buddy.